Hey there, how are you? Here we are at minideal.net, and this time we are proud to review for you the first world entry quad-core 4G smartphone, the Infocus M512. So this is a smartphone featuring the Snapdragon 400, clocked on 1.2 GHz, and Android 4.4. So let's open the box and see what's going on with this smartphone. So first of all, here on the box you can see that on the left we have the smartphone, on the right here we have a USB cable, USB, micro USB. So just to make sure. Also we have the Infocus USB charger. So this is a US plug, but we can also provide you with a UK plug, EU plug, sorry. So here you can see the different specifications of the charger in focus. So we have the smartphone, we'll get back to it very soon. And the last but not least, the user guide, but it's all in Chinese, so if you have any trouble, we will help you sort it out, and so you have nothing to worry about, okay? So this is it basically for the box, and now let's have a look at the smartphone. Before getting into any details, so the Infocus M512 has a pretty specific design. So here on the side, first we will describe everything. So here on the side we have actually the power button. On the bottom we have the USB, micro USB, the microphone. Here you see that we do have the speaker. On the other side we do have the volume button, and on the top we have the 3.5mm jack and the other microphone. So on the back here we can see the 8 megapixels camera, which is actually a Sony Exmor f2.2 8 megapixels camera with dual flashlight. Then so we see like Infocus and the logo, and otherwise what is particular, it's the screen itself. So this is a 5-inch screen, HD, IPS, OGS and Gorilla Glass 3, so ultra resistance and almost scratch free, okay? So this phone features so the 4G LTE, FDD, NFC and OTG. So we can also have a look inside of the phone. So this is what it looks like. So we can see here we only have actually one SIM card, and we have a slot for a micro SD card up to 32 gigabytes. And however, the battery is non-removable and is 2500 mAh, so which allows you to work for at least a day and probably 1 to 2 days for sure. So otherwise, if we have a look, a closer look at the screen itself, so here we can see the speaker, the front facing camera, which is 2 megapixels, and on the bottom we see that actually we do not have any touch buttons. The touch button will be right away on the screen. We will see that when we will turn on the phone, okay? So this is it basically for the design of the Infocus. What else to add except this phone is actually 155 grams and the dimensions are 140 millimeters length by 70.8 millimeters and a thickness of 8.7 millimeters, so quite thin anyway. So now what I propose is like to turn on the phone and to see really what's going on inside. So let's turn on. So Infocus is actually a brand new brand which just appears on the market. So okay, you have a lot of tutorials to help you going through everything. So this is Android 4.4.2, okay? So this is the new, so we can actually have a look right away at the toggles. So and the settings right away. So basically this is it. So we have the Wi-Fi. So usually the Chinese smartphones feature SIM management because they have 2 SIM card slots, but here we only have 1 SIM card, so basically no SIM management. I mean, not as it is usually. Bluetooth, data usage, and in more we can see that we have the airplane mode, the default SMS app, and the NFC, which is already enabled, so we will try it later on just to show you that everything is working. Mobile plan, cell broadcast. So this is what I was saying before. So here we have actually the 3 touch buttons right away on the screen, and not, you know, as a lot of other smartphones on the bottom, so you have to use the screen to go back. The sound, so you can actually set up your ringtone and set up the different modes you want. Then we also have the display, so you can have a blue light filter, color temperature, you can set up a lot of different things. The LED notifications, so we also have the LED notifications on this smartphone. You can also deactivate it or not. Otherwise, for the storage, so I didn't say anything, but this is actually a 1 GB of RAM and 4 GB RAM or smartphone. So we see that here we have like 4 GB, and as the system is taking like 1.88, and we have 1 available. Taking in consideration that actually we install like a lot of different applications for this review and to test the phone, so basically we should have around 1.70 GB, maybe 1.8 or 1.9 available when you get the smartphone. Okay, so we don't advise you to actually install and insert a micro SD cards in order to have a lot of space. So the battery, as I said before, this is a 2500 mAh battery, which will allow you to use the smartphone for a long time. So the power saver, so you can actually set up a lot of different things. The application manager, location services, so you can actually use and set up the GPS, even the AGPS settings. Otherwise, the screen lock, if you want to set up a pattern, security as well, language. What kind of languages do we have on this smartphone? So here we see that the list is very long. You will probably find your own language inside, so feel free to check. Okay, here we go. So let's go back. So the Google account, so you can set up your own Google account on it. So we'll see after the different applications we have. The motion settings, here we can see we have turnover to reject call, volume, quiet and pick up, direct call and answer, smart alerts, and shake to next song. So for it looks maybe for some of them a bit like dodgy, or we don't really know how to use it, but here how to use motion, and for all of them actually they explain to you how it works exactly, and it's very easy. You see, they even have gestures, animations, just to show you what's going on. So no problem, you will not be lost when you will get the smartphone, and we will not show you that now because there is no point. Motion settings, date and time, accessibility, printing if you want, and about this device. Here we see this is the Infocus M512 and Android 4.4.2, and this is a true KitKat version. We can see it properly. Okay, so we can go back, and this is what you get. Just before I was talking about the Google, so here you see that we actually have the Google Play Store on it, the Google Settings, the Google Calendar, Google Gmail, so everything is working perfectly, and you will be able to download all your favorite applications without any trouble at all. We also have the tools, so here we can see that we have the torch, note, calculator, the clock, downloads, voice note, FM radio, calendar, the weather forecast, and the NFC. So we will try it in a very short time, don't worry about that. Here, this is all what we installed for the review, and here we see that we have actually a backup tool. We have a special Infocus services with some different things, so you will discover that, and the file manager, email, the gallery, and camera. Okay, so you can also install some widgets. So here you see that this is a weather forecast widgets, and a particularity of this smartphone too is actually the settings menu. So here you see we have right away access to different things. So add task manager, preferences. So if we click on it, we see that we can set up a desktop page effect. So basically when you switch the pages, so this is like the roll one. So for next time we can put, for example, let's say the flip one, and we'll see what's going on. So slide down action, the pinch. So you can set up a lot of different things without any problem. So here also we do have edit, so you can edit every pages on the home menu here, and you have access right away to the settings as well. So this is what it gets, and you also have these specific icons here on the bottom, which is like the call, the contacts, browser, messages, and the settings. So now that we have showed the most important on this smartphone, let's have a look at the Antutu benchmarks. For the people who don't really know what is Antutu, so this is the latest version, as you can see, 5. So for the people who don't know what is Antutu benchmark, this is an app which allows you to actually test the performances of your device and to get a score out of it. So here we got like 16,645, which is an average score for a smartphone, but let's not forget this is actually the first world entry 4G quad-core smartphone, so we couldn't expect having a score of 25 or 30,000 for sure. So let's understand why we have such a score. So here we see Android 4.4.2. We have the Qualcomm Snapdragon MSM 8926, which is actually the Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 clocked at 1.2 GHz. The graphic processor is actually the Adreno 305. So the latest one is the 330. So we will check the graphic performance, the gaming performances soon. The resolution of the screen of this 5 inches is actually 1280 by 720. The rear camera, as I said before, is an 8 megapixel Sony Exmor f2.2. So we will check the root access. So here we see that we have 850 megabytes, so 1 gigabyte of RAM and 4 gigabytes of internal memory. So quad-core processor, 1.2 gigahertz. So the DPI, the density is actually 320 DPI, so 8 and 2 megapixels for the camera. Then we have the NFC, we will try it. And for the sensors, what do we have? We have almost everything except the temperature, pressure, ambient temperature, and the relative humidity sensors. So this is it basically for the specifications. So now let's have a look at all the little details. So for that, we can first check the root. So here we say, sorry, this device doesn't have proper root access. What does that mean for you? It means that actually if you want to change the Android version on this smartphone, you will first have to root the phone, okay? So otherwise, what else do we have? The multi-touch. So if we drop on the table and we put all fingers on it, we see this is actually a 10 touch capacity screen, which is very good. This is the maximum now. So for an entry smartphone is very, very good. Also, what we can have a look now at is the display. Why? Because this is what I want to show is that, so we have 60 Hz of refresh rate, which means that actually if you want to type very fast on your keyboard, you will have no problem at all and no confusion between some letters. Okay? So, also, what's going on for the GPS? I tried it inside of the house, but it was too weak. However, I took some screenshots, so you can actually see easily what is going on. So this is what happened when I was outside after 15 seconds or something like that. So we have here the maximum accuracy, however, was 23 meters, so which is average, and it was pretty fast to get that. So we can see here we had actually 11 satellites in use and 21 in view. So this is what we get. So now what we can try actually is like we were talking about the NFC on it. So let's try it. So here this is an octopus. So in Hong Kong, some people can use the MRT. So for that we can use a card. So if I put the card on the back of the smartphone, we see that actually it's working right away, connecting and reading octopus. So here it doesn't say because actually the connection is blocked, but it doesn't matter. Just to show you that actually it really works. Here it's just like a problem of internet connection. But basically, so the near field communication, the NFC on the smartphone is working very well, and can be very useful for the people using, for example, the MRT card, or who wants to pay for other things in some convenience stores, all these kind of things. So we have shown almost everything. So now what I propose to you is actually to show a video in order to test the sound and how it renders on the screen. We will try the OTG at the same time. So this is like an OTG stick. We can plug on the back here. So we can see it's turning on, lighting on. So it's preparing the USB storage. So we can go right away in the file manager. And we have access to actually the USB local storage. And here we see that actually we have one video for sure, and the GoPro video that we can, okay, tutorial everywhere. We turn on the sound to the maximum. So let's see what's going on. So we see we have no problem to watch movies, and the HD quality is very nice. And how about the sound? So the sound is pretty powerful, and the balance between the trebles and the bass is actually pretty good also. So you will be able to enjoy watching a lot of different movies on this smartphone without any problem. So let's go back. No problem at all, everything is working. So now we've been out to take some pictures with the camera, which is, I remind you, the 8 megapixel Sony Exmor f2.2. So first of all, what I want to show you is actually how it works. So we have different modes. So here we can see this is actually what we get. So the single, panorama, blink detection, beauty shot, burst shot, SDR, dynamic lighting, group shot, object eraser, cinematograph, and motion photo. Sorry. So we have access actually to a lot of different things. And for the settings, here we see that actually you can set up the different modes, so normal, portraits, landscape, kids, pets, like a lot of different features. So basically this camera has a lot to offer. So now we can go to the gallery and okay, and we've been taking some pictures out. So this is, for example, with HDR, so you can see the quality is actually very nice when we zoom on it. For an entry smartphone, this is actually exceptional, to be honest. The quality is very, very nice, and you see this was full of light and still succeeded actually to be okay. It was very, very shiny. We also have here that was like half shadow and a half light, and this is to show you actually like how far. So this is the difference between having actually a very, very high camera and just the 8 megapixels. So the details are not as high, but still for a first entry camera, this 8 megapixel Sony Exmor is very, very nice, and you will enjoy all the different modes on it without any problem. So now let's test the gaming performances. So for that we have a game available on the Play Store for free. So this is so from Bandai Namco. So this is Ridge Racer, so we can right away have a regular race, whatever we can get. You see this is completely responsive, no problem. And we will have no problem to play the latest games available on the Play Store. So you see the graphics are very, very nice. So that was just to show you. So basically, you can easily see that playing the latest games on this smartphone will be quite alright with this Adreno 305 and this Snapdragon 400 though. So no problem at all. This is one of the latest games. Okay. So this is it pretty much for this smartphone. To make a quick summary about it, we can say, so this is the Infocus M512, so first world entry quad-core smartphone featuring the 4G, and actually also we do have the NFC and OTG LED notification. This has a Snapdragon 400 and Adreno 305. It's 5-inch screen with HD, IPS, OGS, Gorilla Glass 3, resolution of 1280 by 720, 1 GB of RAM, 4 GB of ROM, 2 megapixels for the front-facing camera, 8 megapixels on the back, which is actually a Sony Exmor with an aperture of f2.2. We can insert the SD card up to 32 GB. The battery is a 2500 mAh. However, it's only a single SIM inside, and also it features Android 4.4.2, which is the latest version, Android KitKat. So this smartphone, Infocus M512, is available in black or white at www.minideal.net. So if you have any question regarding this smartphone, please feel free to leave a comment below this video and we will get back to you as soon as possible. And until then, I hope you enjoy it, and see you later for the next review then. Bye bye!